think that first date is for? I know we know it's for conversation, but when a woman wants to be taken to a nice restaurant, I think that's to get to know your style, right? Would that be would you guys agree with that? To know.
I would say too, I don't know if it's that, but I would almost say that to me, I would feel like to go to that extent right there already, you already want me to treat you like you my wife already.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean? Like that type of thing like that. That's for somebody that's gonna be like my wife or we already moved past a few stages for me to be taking you and doing something to that extent. Um, but no, again, I think the issue that we have here is that people forget why they're going on the date versus where they're going on the date. Why are you going on this? Are you going on this date so you can have the experience of being wine and dine at a high level end restaurant? Because if that's the case, that's all you're going for is to get that high end level restaurant
For
experience
sure.
versus you going there actually trying to literally get to know who this person is that is taking you out. You know what I mean? So
You
they
know,
need to differentiate between those two, because if that's the case, anybody can do that to you. You know what I mean? Like he where he take you? Oh, he took me to such. He took you to that little what he spent $30. See, now we talking about a dollar amount. What was the purpose of y'all even going out there? Period. Because if that's the case, then money is not nothing to be talking about. Who cares how much your food costs?
let me say, I kind of wanted to put a website together about nice places with nice, like the ambiance is nice, but they're not expensive, but it gives you like a feeling of, expense, so to speak. I think, and the reason why I say that is for me, I like to find a guy. I like to see what his taste is. Like, what I want to know what you would choose to go, where you would choose to go. And it has nothing to do with the menu and how much it costs to be there. I want to know what type of environment you're going to put me in. And the reason why I say that, because this really happened to me, y'all. Met this guy. He was cool. And he chose this place that I wasn't even comfortable getting out of the car. And I thought, why would you bring me here? And he asked me, well, why did you ask me? Like, he didn't understand why I was asking that question. And I kid you not, on the way to the car, he was like, give me a second. He goes into the car and pulls out a gun. And I thought, are you serious right now? This is why I asked you that. Like, why would you even bring me here?
Protection.
To be fair, you're in Atlanta. They need that gun anywhere.
Yes,
Right.
but this you are at.
I mean, Chicago, we do the same thing.
I agree with you, but I didn't feel comfortable even getting out of the car. I knew that this was not an area in which we should be in. I would never be in. And so to me, for you to bring me here, I'm okay with the menu, like, because more than likely I'm just gonna get vegetables anyway. I never order an entree. I always get veggies, like Brussels sprouts, asparagus. That's my thing. But I just want to know your style, like how you move, like something about you. So if you take a situation like this young man, and that's not really your style, you're kind of perpetrating, or you're trying to, like, I'm not really getting to know you. My whole point is to get to know you. Like, what would you choose? If you choose a coffee shop and it's a nice coffee shop, I'm okay with that because it's your style. Like, maybe you like to drink coffee and talk. Me too. So
See, but what if it's not that it's not what if see, it's too many questions in there, because then this comes down to like this. What if I'm taking you there, not that it's my style, but I'm only doing it because I'm trying to impress you, even though this is really not me.
That's when it becomes a problem.
That's what I'm saying.
That's when it becomes a problem, because that's not you. You're setting this false set,
Right.
like this is
But
you, and it's
So-
not you.
and yet you can feel
So
that if
here-
I do that, you're saying, oh, well, he has really good taste. No, I actually don't. I'm only doing it because I'm trying to impress you. So then it's like,
So
Right.
I hear what you're saying, Shan, but here's the thing. I think everybody on the panel's over the age of 30. I think our generation is a little bit different, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we understand that, right? You're feeling each other out on that first date. Whereas with like a lot of these younger kids, or the men who are dating women who are under the age of 30, they don't move like that, right? Like, their reality is very different. If you are not spending that 150, like, that's it. You're not getting the box. You're not getting a second date. You're not getting any real interaction on that date. Like, you're getting like the cold shoulder, right? So I think there's like very different level of perception that they have.
But is
Where
that the
men
one that you want?
just-
That would be would that not be a red flag early on? Like, I dodged a bullet.
So I don't think so, right? And here's why. I think that there's two sets of goals. Men who are in that age category dating women in that age category, they're looking for somebody. Men who are older dating women in that age category, it's more so about like the not just that.
That's back in the cheeks.
Yeah. So that's part of it, right? Because 3 days is really not a lot. Um, but I think the other part of it is that like they have something to prove, right? Their level of being vetted may not necessarily be the same as somebody who's closer to their age as these younger girls. So if I can blindside you with all of these extravagant things, then maybe you'll overlook the things that women who are a little more experienced are able to vet out, right? So I think it depends on the demographic of who's dating those women. I don't think a lot of men see it. And I think the other thing, last thing, men are really competitive, right? If she is really that attractive girl, if she really has a decent personality, she doesn't even have to have like the best personality. If she has a decent personality, she's an 8, 9, 10, men are going to compete. And in order to compete, you gotta put your wallet up in comparison to other men, right? So I think it's easier to judge men on you should know better when it comes to that. You should be dodging these bullets, but really, men have been complaining about the quality of women that exist and still have to compete to figure out who is a quality woman.
So, if y'all don't mind, first point I just want to tell the guys: if you're going to put yourself in a bind for a date, don't go on that date. That's the number one thing. If it is going to cost you more than you have, and I don't want to use the word to spare, but that you have allotted for that time, don't do it. Number two, home dude in the video is kind of right because the date, especially the first date, is to really to get to know someone. That's what it's meant to do. You're not going to really get that over a movie, and you're not going to get that over a fine dining experience. You get that over a walk. You get that over a cup of coffee. That's where you get those the a more intimate setting, but laid back, to where you can actually have real conversation and real dialogue with a woman to figure out where her head is at. If your goal is to smash a chick, you don't have to take her to the most expensive spot. As a matter of fact, where you met her, use your words. I don't recommend smashing,
Well,
going
we're
out
not
with
going
that
to talk about
goal,
smashing. We're not
but
going to even
I
give
mean,
him that
but
here.
think about the guy in the video. At the very beginning of the video, I spent $150. She ghosted me. Now I'm feeling some kind of way. There was in his mind at some point he thought he was gonna get them yum yums, and he didn't get them
Or
yum
maybe
yums.
just to get to know her.
No, you don't spend 100. I guess you could, but I personally could go on a $150 date and not be hurt, right? But why would I do that when the goal would be to know, should be to get to know the person? We're going out here in this dating market, and we're sending young men out here in this dating market with the wrong mindset. Somebody has to explain to these kids that your goal should be to get to know him. And that's where the guy is right. It is a time investment to learn about someone.
Real
Question.
fast, Nas, because I
And
have a question for you.
then you
Yeah.
don't get to 10 dates to where you're kicking somebody out the car because you've learned who they are. And that goes all the way back to that first video. But instead, we got these people going in with these one-track minds trying to get some of them yams, and they're coming up empty. That's two videos in one night where the dudes are coming up empty. Don't spend that money if you don't have it. And if and if your goal shouldn't be to smash, it should be to get to know them. stop random smashing. Then we can stop the
Baby,
random
you ain't even
babies.
when you're
I'm
talking.
sorry. I'm sorry. It drives me nuts.
I need
I'm
a
sorry.
timer.
It drives me nuts. Men
Listen,
acting stupid drives me bananas.